Hello, dear friends. My name is Michaela. Welcome to my astrology channel called Todayenergy. In this video, we will discuss the energies of the upcoming new moon. It's going to happen on the 1st of April, and I'm located in Bulgaria, so I'm using Eastern European time. So you can check it for your location, the precise day and hour. The sun and moon will conjunct at 11 degrees of Aries, and that's great because that's the very first new moon we have after the spring equinox we had on the 20th of March. So that was the astronomical new year when sun passed from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries, thus starting the new cycle of life to go all year through the 12 zodiac signs, and hence learning, of course, the lessons and the energies of each of those archetypes. So this new moon is really great for thinking of your goals, writing down your wishes, setting your intentions. You know, every new moon is for planting the seeds and later just, you know, watch them grow and manifest in your life. Well, of course, we can talk about the energy of Aries. Happy birthday, all Aries who watch this video. So we're talking about courage. We're talking about being brave, about being very energetic, very proactive. This is a very fiery, obviously, energy of the initiator, of the one who doesn't need incentives or permissions or orders to do something. The energy of Aries can be really bold and unstoppable. Of course, it's a cardinal sign, so it's truly about beginning something new, about being a pioneer, about walking first into the unknown and hence leading everyone else behind you. You know, like really the archetype of a explorer and a leader. It's a very spontaneous energy, quite impulsive, even often instinctive, and really decisive. No fear here. I checked the Sabian symbolism of the 11th degree of Aries. I find it fascinating how often this metaphorical, esoteric description of each of these 360 degrees of the zodiac really gives us a hint, a new hue or coloring, even more so the energies of particular astrological event happening on this very degree. So the 11th degree was described as the president, the leader of a nation, and kind of the context here is to be disciplined, really, because and Aries on one hand can be like this wildfire energy that can burn all the forest and including hurt themselves too, or be like this toddler, like a child who is curious to explore all the world but also can be prone to accidents and hurt themselves. So it's about being more, having more disciplined will. It's still about willpower as a leader of a nation, right? It's about maturity, being mature, and it's about taming these very instincts we just mentioned. And kind of make this impulse and instinct, your huge fiery combustible energy, working productively and constructively for the good of the nation, yeah, of all the people you are responsible for. So it's kind of like taking the charge, taking the lead, but maturely and responsibly. So let's remember this, because now you will see that this is very true for this new moon. And of course, the 2 weeks that follow it, because always we discuss so thoroughly each lunation, so new moon and full moon, because we will live in these energies collectively and personally, each of us for 2 weeks. time. So let me actually share the screen with you. It is set for Sofia, Bulgaria time for the 1st of April at 9:24 in the morning. We will have the new moon. Here are the sun and the moon conjuncting at 11 degrees and 30 seconds of Aries. And you see that right next to them is the asteroid centaur Chiron, which looks, the symbol is like a key. So Chiron is the wounded healer. It talks about some old traumas, pains, really painful memories, issues we have in us, which we possibly not gonna get rid of in our lifetime, but if we are aware of them, you know, information is power. Information is the key to healing. So once we are aware of these pains and you know, psychological, emotional pains, we can actually help others and help others cure or, you know, cope with the same problems. So if we talk about Chiron in Aries and we take the very literal meaning, so that could be related to some of you with headaches, high blood pressure, by the way, temperature, inflammation. Yeah, this is the physical pain of Chiron in Aries. If we talk about mundane astrology and social level of society, we can talk about Chiron as the healthcare system, medical system, doctors, and especially the ones in hotspots. Yeah, Aries is usually the battlefield, so somewhere in war zones. Now, if we talk about psychology, of course, then Chiron and this new moon, fresh new start, remember, new possibilities to face our inner traumas and pains, and of course work with them and release them and help other people realize and release them too. And it's about kind of your you know, the pain is about being an Aries. It's about being bold and brave and probably protective of something you love and want. And it's about being spontaneous. But maybe when you were a child and you were trying to be just yourself, you know, and you were trying to just demand what's rightfully yours, as the very little children do, that's very typical for Aries, you were probably stopped in this impulse of yours by someone who shamed you for this activity, and who called you probably an egoist person, right? And they told you to be more like Libra, like, hey, you have to make compromises and you know, cooperate and work with others and take care of, I don't know, your brother, sister, or be careful what the neighbors say. So don't go there, don't try this, it's crazy, no one else did it before. So it's like when you had the total faith in yourself and you wanted to be absolutely independent and go on your accounts and possibly do something heroic and brave, you were suddenly shamed and stopped for it. And now maybe that's your kind of subconscious trauma and pain, and something that doesn't, like, maybe you are afraid now to just be brave and courageous, to be yourself, to go on your own unique path, and you're constantly asking others for their opinion, you know, like trying to cooperate with others, wait for them, and you know, don't do anymore like your own achievements. So this new moon can illuminate such problems in some of us. Where cannot we be, or why cannot we be just self-sufficient and authentic? But of course, it can be really that you know, the energy of Aries in your case was overflowing with super hot-headedness and impulsiveness and just acting really like a hurting wildfire, which truly can be damaging for the others. And look, here we also have Mercury at 9 degrees of Aries. So this is a merry, fiery bunch here. Mercury in Aries is about, well, first of all, is about talking and sharing these pains and any possible traumas that you have. So really like maybe with friends, maybe going to a therapist and sharing with a specialist, or writing it down in a diary or in a public blog, so other people can relate as well. You know, it's about being brave. And Mercury in Aries is like bold, courageous ideas, speaking out your mind. It's being proactively engaging in society and meeting people and sharing information. Mercury in Aries is very fast thoughts, fast thinking, action. You know, what do they say? Words are cheap, so its words must turn immediately into actions and movement, a lot of movement as well, fast movement. So be careful with driving, I would say here. At the same time, let's look at where the ruler of Aries is in the moment of this new moon. So we see that Mars is at 19 degrees of the fixed air sign of Aquarius. Aquarius is quite rational, has quite a social character. So, you know, while Leo, for instance, is like brother energy of Aries, fiery and egocentric, individualistic, Aquarius is to really cooperate with others, to care about others. Actually, the society and the well-being of the society is more important than what one individual wants and cares for. The group well-being is our concern with this Mars. So very interesting. So you can be, once again, getting back to this Sabianic symbolism of the president, of the leader of the country. That's, you know, you have to be courageous and brave and self-sufficient, authentic, and, you know, trust yourself and your instincts to be the leader, but you have to as well care about the whole people, nation. And you see that Mars goes to a conjunction with Saturn. The exact conjunction will happen on the 5th of April, and you can actually check for each of your zodiac signs. I made separate video. They're here on my channel on YouTube. So we feel now at the moment of this new moon, this tension, because Saturn oftentimes represents walls, rocks, mountain to climb. Okay, Mars has enough energy to climb, to, you know, hit on straight with his head any wall. But here probably we have to be a bit more rational and smarter really, and find the way to overcome obstacles. And it's okay, we do have the courage. That's good. But also let's look at it a bit more positively. And Saturn is cool-headedness. Yeah, Mars is very hot and fiery. Saturn is cold. So he pours a little bit like ice on the enthusiasm of Mars. But anyways, we are talking about Aquarius. So it's more about ideas, ideologies, beliefs, vision for the future. So why don't we combine our you know, passion and drive and ambitions and motivation and courage with the reasonableness, being reasonable, being patient, being hardworking, and building proper foundations of Saturn, because Mars can storm really like a wildfire, you know, go further, break something, but without exactly considering the kind of the consequences, while Saturn considers the longevity of your project, how it will play out in the future, whether it will stand out the tests of time and survive kind of exactly problems and challenges. So we can have here a pretty solid glue mix of building passionately and really put a lot of desire and power into building something solid, yeah, and something important which will be good for everyone. helpful for the people around us. So it's still about being brave, and you know, fixed energy is about stability, but also build something stable. So we have this here, a lot of Aquarian fixed energy, but also we do have some mutable water energy, because just in a couple of days as well, we will have the conjunction of Jupiter and Neptune, and we do feel their energies, this vibration here already, I would say, for at least half of a month, if not even from the beginning of March. You can check on my channel. I do have as well a whole separate video recorded especially about this once in a lifetime conjunction. So it brings a bit more magic dreams. If this is tangible, solid, rational actions, what the leaders can really do for their people, or each of us in our life, right? But here also in Pisces, we have this field of compassion, of unconditional love, altruism. Both signs are very altruistic. Aquarius and Pisces, they think of other people more of themselves. But if Aquarius can be quite stubborn and can become rather as dictators as well, protecting their own visions and ideas, Pisces just kind of melts or integrates into everyone. So here with this, especially people who have more water energy or mutable energy in their charts can be really relying more on prayers, on meditations, on joining with other light beings, you know, and angels, and asking universe for support, while people with more air energy will be just more like discussing and trying to build something solid with like-minded people, Aquarius, like-minded friends amongst us. So, okay, stop sharing the screen. And now I would like to say a couple of words for every separate zodiac sign. Of course, you can listen the information about your ascendant rising sign, but as well, don't forget to listen about your sun sign and moon sign, because this all together will give you a great overview of what this astrological event will bring to your life. Now we start with Aries, and for you, of course, this new moon happens in your first house, so you have the green light for all possible personal initiatives, everything you want to start or build in your life. Really, universe supports you. Especially, it can be about your appearance, your look, your health, your well-being, as well as your relationships with the world, with others. But Chiron here asks you to really think of whether you have some inner blockages exactly regarding this free and courageous self-expression, and of being the pioneer and being the leader, and just lead others after you, being this fiery, passionate person. Of course, maybe there would be some inner psychological, emotional wounds connected to your look, your appearance. Maybe somewhere in your childhood made a remark or comment about how you want to look like, and that actually made you more conformist with the society, but you're truly born to be the leader rather than the conformist, as well as in a big part in relationships. So think about these matters. Mars, your ruler, is in your 11th house, so this new moon can benefit also your role in the society, in groups, your friendships and your like-minded people, and of course your long-term goals and achieving your dreams. Taurus, for you, this happens in your 12th house, the new moon. So it's about your subconsciousness, your experiences from the past. So that's great if you do some meditation, spiritual practices, work with psychologists, because you can do some regressions and go back into times which you consciously don't remember, but maybe you have to deal with some hidden traumas, really, really hidden deep inside you. But unfortunately, they do act as sabotaging instances, the way you behave, the way you think, react. Sometimes you want something, you almost achieve it, and then you self-sabotage. So this is something that you can dig out now in these 2 weeks, let's say. Of course, it's a great time to end something in your life, to get rid of something, to cleanse, make a diet, a detox, but mostly it's emotional and psychological detox. And Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 10th house. So this might help you reach your desired social status, recognize your goals, your career ambitions, and have some more achievements in life. Gemini, for you, this is your 11th house. So this can bring you more social activities, groups of people, friends. You can join some interesting clubs according to your interests, social events, organizations, and that's great. But also Chiron here can ask you to think about maybe problems, maybe really this internal feeling of not belonging, of not being accepted, or possibly something connected with this people-pleasing syndrome, where you just, you do so much to just belong somewhere and not being alone and being some group. Feeling lonely as well inside of you, somewhere deep. Mars is in your 9th house, so this whole can benefit your worldview, like change your worldview, your moral code. 9th house, well, I mean, generally you can just start some new education. Maybe you're joining university or course. Maybe you're meeting people from abroad who also help you think of these matters and change your like stereotypes. As well as 9th house is about being popular and being an expert. So maybe you will meet the right teachers or experts or psychologists for you, or you have the chance to kind of finally express your true authentic self and opinion, and thus you will attract real followers. Cancer, for you, this new moon happens in your 10th house of career achievements. So maybe new job position, some rewards at work, new status, like surname, family, social situation, where you live, what you work. But also here with Chiron, you can work on some internal issues, traumas connected with your parents, or someone maybe inflicted you, someone who was older than you or more powerful than you, like a superior, at work. Maybe you're harassed by someone at work, or overall, something happened possibly that cut out your ambitions, so you don't feel that you deserve to be ambitious and achiever and ask for more exactly in your work and status. And maybe you lost your true north, like what's your mission in life, what you want to accomplish in this life. So you can work on those things. And Mars is in your 8th house. So this whole thing can serve for your better connection with your soulmates, with your intimate partners, like trusting people, relying as well on some common shared resources, because 8th house can bring you some benefits from the state, from family investments, some money or other type of resources you didn't actually work for. And of course, 8th house can talk about pregnancy as well, or about some deep psychological healing. Of course, first of all, we have to pay attention and look bravely at the dark side of the soul, at the subconscious, at the demons inside of us. Perhaps actually your huge ambition, which was till now suffocated. Leos, for you, this is 9th house. So maybe new course, new certificate, travels, meeting people from abroad. But also 9th house is about expressing your opinion, publishing, being out there as an expert, as a guru, as a mentor. But for this, you have to be authentic, right? So Chiron here talks about healing some traumas related to self-expression. I know Leos generally are well known to be the stars, the rock stars on the stage, but you know, that's kind of could be stereotypical. So some of you can have problems with really valuing yourself and your worldview and becoming truly a teacher for others. You know, share your opinion and attract the followers, become an expert. Mars here, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 7th house. So we're talking about all of this can be very beneficial for your relationships with others. For maybe clients, maybe personal relationships, business partnerships. Virgo, for you, this is 8th house, which talks about working with some not easy, sometimes traumatic experiences that leads you eventually to dig deep in your emotional and psychological state, working with esoterics, with psychologists. 8th house, of course, can also, like the new moon in 8th house, can bring you here some new intimate partners or like deepen your existing relationship. As well, it can talk about conceiving and pregnancy, having a child, and having material support from your family, partner, government, or others, like this passive incomes, shared resources. If we talk about Chiron and psychological traumas here, we must mention that generally Virgo energy is very rational, very practical. It's about knowledge and facts and data. And often Virgos are like putting a wall with their inner feelings and emotions, especially the unpleasant ones. So sometimes, or not sometimes, but here especially, Chiron talks about diving deep into your subconscious, meeting your inner problems, inner demons, if you will, and just working with your soul and with your psyche and with your emotions, and learning to trust others and to rely on the support of others. By the way, Mars is in your 6th house, which talks about your work and physical health, and probably how much you're productive at work, how well you serve others, because you rule 6th house, so it's your domain. So you know very well what it means to help others and support them. But also it's about your physical health. So maybe on physical level, you do feel the consequences of these repressed emotions and the fact that you have to deal with your fears and, these traumatic experiences, of course, not to just torture yourself, but to heal, to liberate yourself. Libra, for you, this new moon happens in your 7th house of relationships with others, whether personal or business ones. So you can expect new partners, new clients, new contracts to sign in. But also you might think of some traumas. Chiron asks you to remember if you somehow were hurt or traumatized due to relationship dynamics, whether it's because you had some aggressive, too egoistic, egocentric partner, or maybe it's about you who always rely on others. You are afraid to take the lead, the initiative. Maybe it's about the question of level of self-sufficiency in relationships. And Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 5th house. So this can actually benefit your relationship with your children, your relationship with your loved ones, romantic partners, your overall feeling of passion towards life, love, creativity, inspiration. That's 5th house. And as well, it might talk about business endeavors and achievements. Scorpio, for you, this new moon happens in your 6th house. So you have possibilities to change your routine, your regime for better well-being, for better health. So starting something new regarding your health, like a diet, getting rid of toxins in life, start exercising. But also Chiron here possibly asks you indeed to think about your physical traumas, your physical health, or something related to serving and helping others. Like maybe in the past you were so eager to give help to someone who needs it, but possibly you were stopped in this impulse. Maybe someone rejected this from you and you decided that there is no sense to serve society or others and be helpful. So think about what possibly here you can work with psychologically. And Mars, your ruler and the ruler of this new moon, is in the 4th house for you. So that talks about actually maybe something beneficial for the dynamics and relationships within your family, with your parents, and possibly your feeling of security, stability, the place of living, and property. Maybe you decide like where and how to live. 6th house could be as well about repairment works at home. So maybe making your home environment and work routine the way that best suits you. Sagittarius, for you, new moon happens in your 5th house. So news from your children, news about children and pregnancy, new inspiration, new hobby, some new romantic love might come to your life. That's great. But also you might want to work with some traumas and psychological, emotional issues connected to whether the topic of children, of topic from your childhood. Maybe it's about your inner child and how often or how much you are in connection with this playful part of you who just wants to, you know, sometimes to have fun, but sometimes it's about responsibility and being a leader. 5th house is like Leo house, to be this responsible manager, leader, a ruler of the jungle. So in what ways you're maybe avoiding responsibilities and being too childish, or maybe in what ways you forgot what actually brings you joy in life. And Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 3rd house. So it can benefit overall your relationship, first of all, with your siblings and close environment, your neighborhood people, your neighbors. Also, maybe you will feel inspiration to travel a bit more, explore the city, the country, like short trips, short distance travels. And as well, maybe it can benefit you in regards of your vehicle. Maybe you'll decide finally to get yourself a car. And also, 3rd house is about talking, communicating, and self-expression too. Capricorn, for you, this new moon happens in your 4th house. So it can mean something new in your family, new member in family, new property, something new in the place where you are living, something new in the life of your parents maybe happens. But at the same time, Chiron here would ask you to work with some traumas from your early childhood, from your family environment, from well, something related to your deep emotions, which maybe you don't like pay attention to because also you're quite rational, earthly energy. But 4th house is this hidden part of us, the really vulnerable part of us. So maybe something there, something maybe related to your parents might come to the surface. And Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 2nd house. So this all thing with your family and parents can actually benefit, or your place of living can benefit your work and your incomes and your budget. buying, spending, your material possessions, but also your sense of material security, and of course your self-esteem. So you might dig out the reasons why you don't feel worthy, for instance, in some situations. Aquarius, for you, this new moon touches your third house. So it's about new studies, new environment, new acquaintances, new ways to promote yourself, maybe in social media, new possibilities for trading, PR campaigns, marketing, vehicle travels, short distance travels, something new in the life of your siblings or cousins, extended family. But at the same time, Chiron here asks some of you to work with the traumas, something caused from your school years, from classmates possibly, or maybe really your own siblings and extended family and cousins. It's something to do with them that you have to remember now and face these issues, maybe these grudges or pain, something like that. And this will benefit properly yourself because Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your first house of ego, of well-being, physical and emotional, of your look, of your appearance, of how other people see you and how you build your relationship overall with the world. So maybe your relationship with your sister or brother from your childhood or with classmates reflects still nowadays to how you actually make friends and or build relationships with others, right? So think about it. Chiron here encourages you to heal in this sense. Pisces, for you, this new moon happens in your second house of work and income and material possessions. So maybe something new in your budget, possibly better new work opportunities and salary. Second house is as well about voice, talking, and self-esteem. And because Chiron is here, it talks about possibly physical throat ache, but it might indicate that you have these problems to express yourself, whether you believe or not, people actually hear you and listen to you, and whether your voice is important, and hence, of course, the question of, or the matters of your self-esteem. How do you value yourself? So this kind of traumas you can come across and work with. Mars, the ruler of this new moon, is in your 12th house of your subconscious and of your like self-harming tendencies and self-undoing. So if you realize possibly these issues about your self-esteem, also it's about your body, about nutrition, how you nurture yourself or how you were nurtured as a child. It could be also something about physical boundaries, whether they're respected or not in your life, how safe you feel in your home environment, in your body. And actually, this all can help you to like really strongly liberate yourself. 12th house is everything which is hidden in our subconsciousness, which is from the past, which we don't even remember, maybe from like before we were even born, from past lives, or when we were in the bellies of our moms. And so here it's great time to maybe do a regression, constellation, work with family issues or past lives, and truly heal and end some self-destructive behaviors and self-harming possibly, or anything in your life that actually oppresses you in some way. Well, I wish all of you, all of us, a wonderful new moon. See you soon.